that most men live lives of quiet desperation. And I've been that guy. You're just in this world where you just can't wait to just run away.
Joe Rogan is one of the influential figures in the world of podcasting, entertainment, and combat sports. But what does his life look like beyond the microphone? From his jaw-dropping career to his stunning homes and luxury cars, Rogan's lifestyle is a blend of hard work, immense wealth, and family. Known for his unfiltered opinions and captivating interviews, he has built an empire that's as impressive as it is diverse. But how much do we really know about his day-to-day life? From his rock-solid marriage to the incredible bond he shares with his 3 children, Rogan's personal world is just as fascinating as his public persona. Add in his sprawling estates and multi-million-dollar net worth, and you begin to understand why he's one of the most talked-about individuals on the planet. Curious about the lifestyle of Joe Rogan in 2025? Stay tuned for an inside look at his life, family, success, and more. Early life. Joe Rogan, born Joseph James Rogan on August 11, 1967 in Newark, New Jersey, is a multifaceted entertainer who has captivated audiences through a variety of mediums, including comedy, television, podcasting, and color commentary. His rise to fame is not the result of one singular path, but rather a series of strategic decisions, hard work, and an evolving career that allowed him to tap into different aspects of entertainment over the years. Rogan grew up in a working-class family, and his early years were marked by a sense of curiosity and a natural aptitude for humor. His father, who had a strained relationship with him, left when Rogan was just 5 years old. Raised primarily by his mother, Joe spent much of his childhood in Massachusetts, where he developed an interest in martial arts. He started training in karate at the age of 14 and eventually earned a black belt, which played a significant role in his later career as a UFC color commentator. After graduating from Newton South High School in 1985, Rogan briefly attended the University of Massachusetts in Boston, but his passion for comedy and entertainment led him down a different path. He dropped out of college and moved to New York City to pursue a career in stand-up comedy. By the late 1980s, he was performing at comedy clubs, refining his craft and making a name for himself in the industry. His sharp wit and unique comedic style soon caught the attention of television producers. In 1994, Rogan's big break came when he landed a spot on the TV show Halftime Comedy Hour. This marked the beginning of his long and diverse career in television. Later that year, he moved to Los Angeles, where his career truly took off. Rogan became a regular on the show News Radio in 1995, where he played the role of Joe Garelli, a character that showcased his comedic chops and further solidified his place in the entertainment world. During this time, he also appeared in various other TV shows and reality series, including The Man Show and Fear Factor, where he became known for his down-to-earth and engaging style as the host of the latter. However, Rogan's career wasn't limited to just comedy and TV hosting. In 1997, he was hired as a color commentator for the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC, a role that he would become especially famous for. His expertise in martial arts, paired with his witty commentary, made him an invaluable asset to the UFC. Rogan's unique perspective and no-holds-barred approach to commentary made him a fan favorite in the world of mixed martial arts. The next major chapter in Rogan's career came in 2009 when he launched the Joe Rogan Experience, JRE, a podcast that would go on to redefine the medium. Rogan's podcast became a platform for deep, long-form conversations with a wide range of guests from diverse fields, including comedians, scientists, philosophers, authors, and politicians. The JRE podcast has become one of the most influential podcasts in the world, attracting millions of listeners and contributing significantly to Rogan's wealth and fame. Joe Rogan's influence and success in entertainment have propelled him into a significant financial position. With his multiple ventures, including his UFC commentary, podcasting, stand-up comedy, and acting roles, Rogan has amassed an estimated net worth of $150 million. He has also become a well-respected figure in the podcasting world, known for his ability to ask thought-provoking questions and facilitate candid discussions. Outside of his professional life, Rogan is a family man. He is married to Jessica Ditzel, and the couple has 2 daughters. Despite his fame, Rogan has maintained a relatively private family life, with much of his personal story shared only through his podcast. Today, at 55 years old, Joe Rogan is widely regarded as one of the most influential public figures in modern entertainment. His journey from stand-up comedy to podcasting and UFC commentary illustrates his versatility, and his continued success demonstrates his ability to adapt and thrive in an ever-changing media landscape. Family life. Joe Rogan's family life is a significant part of his story, yet it remains one of the more private aspects of his life. While he is known for his openness and candid conversations on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, he has kept many details about his family out of the public eye. However, what is clear is that Rogan shares a deep connection with his wife, Jessica Ditzel, and his 3 children, including his adopted daughter, Kasia Rose. Together, they form a tight-knit family that has largely stayed out of the tabloid spotlight, despite Rogan's massive fame. Rogan met Jessica Ditzel in the early 2000s at a Los Angeles bar where she was working as a waitress. According to Rogan, Ditzel is not only his partner but also his equal in terms of humor and intelligence. He has often praised her for her quick wit and intellect, describing her as funny as me and very smart. It was clear from the start that their relationship had a solid foundation of mutual respect and admiration. In 2009, they married, and their bond has remained strong ever since. Though Rogan is a public figure, he has remained remarkably private about his family, often keeping them out of the media's glare. Rogan and Ditzel have 3 children together, 2 biological daughters and 1 adopted daughter from Ditzel's previous relationship. Their first daughter, Lola Rogan, was born in 2008. She is followed by their second daughter, Rosie Rogan, who was born a few years later. Both Lola and Rosie are often kept away from the public eye, but Rogan has occasionally shared glimpses of his father-daughter life on his podcast and social media. Rogan's affection for his daughters is apparent, and he's spoken about how fatherhood has influenced his perspective on life, including making him much more protective and thoughtful about the world around him. In addition to his 2 biological daughters, Rogan and Ditzel also have an adopted daughter, Kasia Rose, who was born in 1998. Kasia was adopted in 2009, following Rogan's marriage to Ditzel. Kasia is the daughter of Ditzel's previous partner, the late singer Kevin Dean O'Connor, who was part of the R&B group H-Town. Tragically, Connor passed away in 2003. Despite not being Rogan's biological child, he has embraced her as his own and has developed a strong father-daughter bond with her. Kasia has grown up in a loving home alongside Lola and Rosie, and Rogan has often referred to her with warmth and affection. Rogan's approach to fatherhood and family life has been candid and often humorous, especially when it comes to discussing how his children have altered his perspective on things. He has joked that having children ruined certain aspects of his life, notably porn and strip clubs. According to Rogan, his daughters have given him such a deep sense of responsibility and love that he now finds it difficult to view adult entertainment in the same way. He has explained that his children's presence has made him more conscious of his actions, knowing that his behavior sets an example for them. This shift in perspective is part of the broader changes that fatherhood has brought into his life. While Rogan's marriage and family life have been relatively private, he has been open about his views on relationships. On his podcast, he has made controversial statements about marriage, calling the institution dumb. However, despite this, his long and stable marriage to Jessica Ditzel contradicts this sentiment. It's likely that his views on marriage are shaped by the institution's traditional expectations rather than his actual commitment to his wife and family. Throughout his career, Joe Rogan has often stressed the importance of keeping his family life private, away from the public's constant scrutiny. While his fame often places him at the center of attention, Rogan has made it clear that his family is a sanctuary. The balance he maintains between his professional life and family life showcases his ability to remain grounded despite his success in the entertainment industry. His net worth. As of 2025, Joe Rogan's net worth is estimated to be around $200 million, making him one of the wealthiest and most influential figures in the world of entertainment, podcasting, and media. Rogan's wealth has come from a diverse range of income streams, including his iconic podcast, stand-up comedy career, UFC color commentary, and business ventures. Let's dive into how he has amassed such wealth and continues to build his empire. The Joe Rogan Experience. The cornerstone of Joe Rogan's fortune is undoubtedly his podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, JRE. Launched in 2009, JRE has become the most popular podcast globally, regularly ranking at the top of podcast charts with millions of downloads per episode. Rogan's podcast is known for its simple yet engaging format, consisting of long, unscripted discussions with guests from a variety of fields, including science, philosophy, politics, health, and entertainment. His authenticity and ability to ask thought-provoking questions have attracted a loyal fan base that eagerly tunes in for every episode. In 2020, Rogan made a bold move by signing an exclusive licensing deal with Spotify worth $200 million. This agreement brought JRE exclusively to the streaming platform, and with it, massive exposure and revenue. The deal included both the audio and video versions of his podcast, propelling it to an even wider audience. The move to Spotify solidified Rogan as one of the most powerful figures in podcasting and was a game-changer for the industry. Joe Rogan's $250 million deal with Spotify. In February 2024, Rogan signed a new, reportedly even more lucrative deal with Spotify, said to be worth up to $250 million. This multi-year agreement further solidified Rogan's position at the top of the podcasting world. Not only does it include continued exclusivity on the Spotify platform, but it also opens up his podcast to a wider audience across multiple platforms while still generating significant revenue through advertising. This new deal reflects the continued growth of Rogan's influence and marketability, with his podcast consistently attracting millions of listeners each month. With ads, sponsorships, and an ever-growing audience, JRE remains a goldmine for both Rogan and Spotify, further contributing to his skyrocketing net worth. How much does Joe Rogan make per episode? Rogan's earnings per episode are a key factor in his impressive income. Although specific figures are hard to verify, estimates suggest that Rogan makes around $100,000 per episode of The Joe Rogan Experience. Given that Rogan typically releases 3 episodes a week, this figure adds up to a substantial sum over the course of a year. With his exclusive deal with Spotify, it's likely that this amount has increased since the terms of the deal became public. At 3 episodes per week, Rogan could be making upwards of $15 million annually just from his podcast alone, in addition to his various other business ventures and investments. With such high earnings per episode, it's easy to see how Rogan has amassed such an impressive fortune in just a few short years. Joe Rogan's annual earnings beyond podcasting. In addition to his podcast, Joe Rogan generates income from several other sources. One of the main contributors is his stand-up comedy career, where he continues to sell out arenas and theaters across the United States. Rogan's comedy specials on Netflix have also been a significant source of income. His latest stand-up specials, such as Strange Times and Triggered, have garnered widespread attention and further boosted his wealth. Rogan also continues to earn a significant income from his role as a color commentator for the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC. His expertise in mixed martial arts, coupled with his engaging and often humorous commentary, has made him one of the most recognizable voices in the sport. His UFC commentary gigs contribute to his overall earnings, though his podcast has undoubtedly become the main driver of his wealth in recent years. In 2020, Celebrity Net Worth estimated Rogan's annual earnings at between $60 million and $65 million. Given his continued success and the new deal with Spotify, it's safe to say that his annual income has likely increased, potentially even surpassing $70 million by 2025. The impact of Joe Rogan's Spotify deal. Joe Rogan's licensing deal with Spotify was a major turning point in his career. The $200 million deal in 2020 catapulted him to an entirely new level of fame and financial success. By bringing his podcast exclusively to Spotify, Rogan ensured a steady and reliable source of income while also allowing Spotify to tap into the growing podcast market. The exclusivity deal meant that Rogan's podcast would no longer be available on platforms like YouTube, iTunes, or other podcast apps. While this move was controversial for some, it paid off for Rogan and Spotify, with the deal allowing Rogan to focus on creating high-quality content while Spotify reaped the rewards of his massive following. In February 2024, Rogan signed a new deal with Spotify that is said to be worth up to $250 million. This updated agreement not only allows the podcast to reach an even broader audience across multiple platforms, but also ensures that Rogan continues to generate revenue from ads and sponsorships, which have been a consistent source of income for the show. With Spotify continuing to ramp up its efforts in the podcasting space, this deal is likely to keep Rogan's earnings growing for years to come. Controversy and its impact on Joe Rogan's net worth. Despite his success, Joe Rogan's podcast has not been without controversy. Over the years, he has hosted guests with extreme or polarizing views on a variety of topics, including politics, health, and the COVID-19 pandemic. His podcast has sparked backlash from critics who accuse him of providing a platform for misinformation, especially during the pandemic when he gave airtime to controversial figures with questionable views on the virus and vaccines. This backlash culminated in 2022, when musicians like Neil Young and Joni Mitchell threatened to pull their music from Spotify due to Rogan's controversial content. While the controversy surrounding Rogan's podcast has been divisive, it hasn't significantly impacted his net worth. In fact, many argue that the controversy has only increased his visibility and cemented his position as one of the most influential voices in media. His willingness to tackle sensitive topics and invite diverse viewpoints onto his show has garnered a loyal following of listeners who appreciate his no-holds-barred approach to conversation. Moreover, Spotify has publicly supported Rogan throughout the controversies, further ensuring his continued success and financial stability. As long as his podcast remains popular and his loyal audience continues to grow, Rogan's net worth will likely remain unaffected by the occasional storm of criticism. Joe Rogan's real estate and where he lives. Joe Rogan's net worth is also reflected in his real estate investments. In 2020, Rogan made headlines when he announced that he was leaving Los Angeles and moving to Austin, Texas. Rogan cited the city's restrictive policies as a major factor in his decision, as well as his desire for more freedom and a quieter lifestyle. In Texas, Rogan has settled in a sprawling mansion, which is reportedly worth several $1 million. The move to Texas has allowed him to escape the fast-paced lifestyle of Los Angeles and enjoy more privacy, while also positioning him in a more central location for his business ventures and travel. Rogan's Austin property is a testament to his success, offering him the luxury and privacy he desires while also providing a perfect backdrop for his growing family. Joe Rogan's investments and side projects. In addition to his podcasting career, Joe Rogan has been an active investor in several business ventures. One of his more well-known investments is in Onnit, a supplement and fitness company that he has been involved with for years. Onnit, which sells products ranging from nutritional supplements to fitness equipment, has contributed significantly to Rogan's wealth. Rogan has also invested in tech startups, cannabis companies, and other real estate ventures. His diverse portfolio has allowed him to further expand his income beyond the realm of entertainment and media. His entrepreneurial spirit and investment acumen have positioned him well to continue growing his net worth for years to come. Joe Rogan's net worth in 2025 is a reflection of his ability to diversify his income and build wealth through multiple avenues. From his massively successful podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, to his comedy specials, UFC commentary, and business investments, Rogan has created an empire that continues to grow. His exclusive deals with Spotify, his investments in various businesses, and his entrepreneurial mindset have all contributed to his impressive financial success. Whether you love him or hate him, there's no denying that Joe Rogan has mastered the art of leveraging his fame and influence to create a lasting and lucrative career. As long as his podcast remains one of the most popular shows in the world, and as he continues to invest wisely in various ventures, Rogan's net worth will likely continue to rise. His unique ability to adapt to changing media landscapes and his ever-expanding influence will ensure that he remains one of the most influential figures in modern entertainment for years to come. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Joe Rogan's life, family, net worth, and career, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more updates on your favorite stars. Let us know in the comments how you think Joe Rogan will continue to grow his empire in the coming years. See you in the next video.